Welcome to Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. Legal issues simplified through real client stories and real-world experiences. Creating simplicity in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. I'm your host, ByrdAdatto, with my co-host, Michael Byrd.
Thanks, Brad. As a business and healthcare law firm, we meet a lot of interesting people and learn their amazing stories.
Yes, and on Season 1, we were able to share many stories with our amazing audience, and especially those of you who have subscribed and left us 5-star reviews. Thank you.
Yes, very grateful. We have, as of now, 35 reviews, and we're really grateful for that. And so it's been great. I loved about Season 1 our theme of thinking inside the box. And I love that we were able to share stories from the inside, talking to our partners. Brad and I shared some of our favorite stories, and of course, really enjoyed episode 4 with our special guest, Dr. Paul Jared Frank, who shared his journey through having COVID-19 and having a medical practice in Manhattan during the heat of all the beginnings of COVID, when Manhattan was the hotspot in the world.
Yeah, it was super great. I'm so happy that Paul could join us. And as a reminder to our audience, if you have not heard our story, it's actually the trailer before Season 1, introducing to, number one, why we started this podcast, and more importantly, a little more information on why we started ByrdAdatto and who we are.
Yeah, I loved it. Loved sharing our story. It was really kind of a journey down memory lane as we kind of talked through that, the build up to the podcast. And Season 1 was a blast. What was your favorite episode, Brad?
It's kind of like asking which my favorite kid is, but honestly, I love doing all of them. But Don't Be a Lone Wolf, which is release-wise was our 3rd episode, was my favorite, and probably because it really was our 2nd recording. And as we were recording, I was realizing, wow, this is going to be a lot of fun this season. So what was your favorite?
Well, again, it's kind of like picking your favorite kid. I struggled with it, but I have to go with the Handshake Exposed, only because that is probably the wildest story in Season 1, and it's probably the wildest story of my entire career.
Yeah, that was a wild story. There's no doubt about that. Well, Michael, that wraps up Season 1. I can't believe it's already gone by. But Season 2 is just around the corner. Our first episode, Patience, Practice Love, Life, Blood, or Practice Threat, is starting on October 7th. Michael, what do we have in store for our audience in Season 2?
Our theme for Season 2 is thinking outside the box. And we did a little bit of a twist with our theme, and in this season, all of our episodes have outside guests, and so we have some really awesome guests with cool stories, big names in the industry, and we'll get to hear kind of their story from the perspective of spots in their career where they had to pivot or think creatively, and so you'll just get to see big name people that had real life problems just like all of us.
Yeah, I'm real excited for Season 2. We have 9 episodes. As you said, we have some world famous plastic surgeons joining us. We have motivational speakers. We have a Navy SEAL. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And as you said, each one are going to share these moments and times in their life where they address adversity and what shifts in life they had to do just to get the results that they needed. I cannot wait for our loyal listeners to hear it.
Yeah, we're so grateful to have all of you joining us on the Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. For now, we're going to say goodbye and look forward to you joining us for Season 2.
Thanks again for joining us today. And remember, if you like this episode, please subscribe, make sure to give us a 5-star rating, and share with your friends.
You can also sign up for the ByrdAdatto newsletter by going to our website at ByrdAdatto.com.
ByrdAdatto is providing this podcast as a public service. This podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast does not constitute legal advice, nor does it establish an attorney-client relationship. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by ByrdAdatto. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Please consult with an attorney on your legal issues.